Alright guys, in this video, since I made one recently, might as well talk about a new topic here. And that is the future of the MCU movies plus comic books, about the whole comics gate and the comic books, what's going on now. And I think personally with Avengers Endgame, that's probably the high point of a superhero movie with a bunch of characters. And I don't see how they could top that. Other than possibly if they tried to do Secret Wars, the original, whole bunch of good guys and bad guys fighting each other, or Avengers versus X-Men, or just the Avengers and the Fantastic Four and the mutants against Galactus, who wants to devour the planet Earth. So those are three possibilities. I'm sure they're going to set up in the next few movies, you know, what the hints of what the future will be. But I think between some of the choices in directors and script writers, you know, it seems like this is the end of an era after Endgame, and it is the high point for many reasons, and it's a changing of the guard. So we'll see what happens. It looks like Disney is investing a lot in their streaming channel, making Star Wars series, making Marvel series, and it looks like they're investing the money in it. What I think personally what they're trying to do is they're trying to make their streaming service have like a Game of Thrones, some type of show that, if you notice it, Stranger Things, if you notice it, that there are Netflix shows, there are HBO shows, or Cinemax, or Starz, that have really caught cultural attention and have really caught relevance with people. And I think that's what Disney wants, that they want some of their shows to catch relevance, to catch the audience, that people will be talking about it. And that's why they're investing the money on this type of streaming service. And I've questioned, will I buy it or will I not buy it? From what I've seen is, if you pay a year in advance, you get a discount. And I think the whole thing will be like under 80 bucks for a whole year. And for me, it would be like 50-50. It just depends on the content, you know. If you're paying for that streaming service, you should have access to all the Star Wars films, all the Marvel Cinematic Universe films, and even the Fox films, that since they bought Fox, it should all be available on the service. Anytime you want to watch it, you just click play on demand. And so between Star Wars, Marvel, and the Fox stuff, you know, that would be tempting. Plus I think they should also throw in, even though I've not seen it really or followed it, all of the recent Disney, Marvel cartoons, Star Wars cartoons, stuff like that. It should all be thrown in there anytime you want to watch it. And the reason I base that is because if you get the WWE Network, is on the WWE Network you get all the old pay-per-views that the company made from the beginning. All of the old WCW pay-per-views, ECW, plus you get all of the old shows and series. You can watch it anytime. There's no expiration date. And it's commercial free, and it's like, that's what you want in the service. You know, what is the library? What are you going to offer? And for Disney, to me, it's about what are you going to offer, okay? How much content? So that's the big one. That's my thoughts about the Disney Marvel, Disney Star Wars type series they're planning. They're trying to get that public attention, that Stranger Things appeal, that Game of Thrones appeal, that people will talk about it. I personally think a lot of the comics gate, a lot of the social justice warrior, SJW stuff they call it, is going to invade these movies. It's already invaded it, but slowly and slowly. And I think it's going to hit a high gear pace from now on. They're going to go full steam ahead in that direction. And the reason they have to be careful is, just like Star Wars The Last Jedi turned off the whole fan base, and then they insulted the fan base, and it only turned them against them more, okay? And Star Wars is another topic. the same thing could happen to the MCU. You know, you put out these divisive movies that people are telling you we don't want, and if they reach that episode 8 point, the MCU, they can lose the fan base. They could just lose it. And then they'll be downhill. I'm sure they'll make a lot of money still, but just like Star Wars, it's going to go downhill. It's not going to be the blockbusters that we've had previous years. You know, there is a certain point in the community that if you cross that line, and they crossed it on The Last Jedi, you lose your fan base, you lose the appeal, and that's what's going to happen to the MCU if they're not careful in terms of the directions they're going and what I'm seeing. And as for comic books, I really don't see much hope for the industry. It's a whole other topic if you want to talk about, well, let me talk to you about the comic industry and what's going on. But I went to the comic store for the first time in quite a long time just to look. And I didn't even know that every Marvel and DC book I saw was $3.99 an issue or $4.99 or more. Not even $2.99. And it's about 22 pages and a cover. The same stuff me and you might have grown up on for $1 or 75 cents or $1.25 is now $4 an issue, okay? And honestly, it's not worth it. You don't see any young people or young teens buying. It's people in their late 20s, 30s, 40s, or older. That's the market. And that's the buyers. And what's going to happen there is, you really think a mother is going to buy her kid one flimsy book for $4 an issue in today's economy? It's not going to happen. The comic industry has boxed themselves into a corner, and it's just, I'm not sure how they're going to recover, or at this point, if they can. You know, it's a whole other topic. I could talk about that, my thoughts about the industry, maybe in a future video, we'll see, but that would be a long video. So this is mostly MCU talk. They got to be careful where they're going. It doesn't look good if they're going that direction in terms of SJW stuff. We can talk comic stuff later. Let me know. Hope this video made some sense. Subscribe, hit the notification button, and talk to you later.